And on my way to my friend's house, I got a text from my sister, and she was saying how proud of me she was and how happy she is that she was the first person that I told. And her secret, my secret is safe with her until I decide to let everyone else know. Good morning, Denver. Our Denver babies. I'm Chancellor Gutierrez, your favorite host of this podcast, Learned Hard, and I'm so excited to be joined here with our guest of the episode, Angeliano Garcia.
You can't forget the other characteristics or adjectives. I'm the favorite host. I'm just kidding.
This is my cousin.
Paige, I know you went to Beyonce twice, and I'm jealous over that.
Anyway, he has a bone to pick with Paige, but that's okay.
Only because I never seen Beyonce. But anyways.
Are you okay?
No, I'm not. Ever since her Beyonce tour, I have not been okay.
I understood because wow, that was like amazing. But yes, this is my cousin Angelo.
Hi,
Angelo Garcia.
Angelo.
And I think we should maybe just dive a little bit into how you and I are related and our relation between that, because obviously, like, everyone listening and everyone watching aren't gonna really fully understand the dynamics of our relationship until we obviously explain it to them. And I'm not sure if our dynamics are anything crazy or anything like that, which they're not. But basically, Angelo Garcia.
Yes. So it's definitely not crazy, but it's definitely big.
Yeah.
I know that I know within the way we're connected in our family, there is at least 150 cousins I've counted and counting.
That's too many.
Way too many. Within our like family that we're connected to. So it's like my mom and your dad.
Well, stop. You're going too far. I want to explain that. Allow me.
Well, then you should start with grandma and see how many siblings she has.
No.
And work your way
I don't know. I don't know how many.
You don't know?
No.
Try to guess.
15.
You're close?
17.
You're down. That second guess was good.
17. I mean, I'm not surprised. My grandma alone has 9 kids, right?
Alone. Yep. Mm-hmm.
So 17 siblings doesn't surprise me. So our grandmother Yolanda, who we love dearly.
Very much. Yep. She raised both of us at the age from like 0 to like 5.
3 for me.
For me, for 5.
Yeah.
Well, a little bit more because I went to the elementary school next to her. So that one was very fun. I loved it.
Yeah.
Except for the school teachers, they were fucking racist.
What school did you go to?
Am I allowed to cuss on here?
I think
definitely keeps you PG.
Yeah. No, I mean we can bleep out, but I don't know if the cussing is worth bleeping.
Yeah.
What school was it that you went to?
So it was called York International.
Okay, yeah, we can bleep it out if you're not comfortable with saying that.
No, I just didn't know if it was allowed or not.
No, I mean, of course.
I mean, anyways, this is a real constructive criticism piece on their part. But when I went to school there,
York, if you're listening, take some notes.
So beginning, like, especially when I was like growing up, I only like spoke Spanish a little bit, you know, and all I knew was kind of like Spanish. And
I'm gonna stop you there and say that I might be a teensy bit jealous of that because our grandmother Yolanda, who we're speaking about, only speaks Spanish. And like I just mentioned, she watched me for the first 3 years of my life. And if you guys want to take a guess on how much Spanish I know, if your guess was 0, it's right. But it's also wrong, but I know some Spanish. I just wish I was more fluent. But continue.
And
you went to York. You only spoke Spanish.
I know where I left off.
Okay, I'm just saying.
No, yeah. So like literally, when I grew up with grandma, like she like only taught us like Spanish classes, and
you're touching my notes.
It flew off.
Leave my notes.
The pillow flew off. All right, the pillow was taking it.
Anyways,
So yeah, with grandma, she would like only speak Spanish, and like that's how I began learning. And also like with my dad's side, we only spoke Spanish too. Um, but then in like elementary school, growing up, like first through like fifth grade, like they would send me to the office every time I spoke Spanish. And they would call it a distraction, but really it was because like the teacher didn't understand. They didn't want us speaking behind their back.
what years did you attend said school?
Kindergarten to fifth grade, because then I went to Thorn Middle for
Oh,
sixth.
wow.
It was honestly pretty racist. Honestly, like Colorado, I can say was definitely very, very whitewashed with, very tangible like indigenous roots. But for me, like I know that I had like a sense of community there because there was like at least six other students who like also spoke
Only
Spanish.
spoke Spanish. Yeah.
Yeah, so I was like, okay, bet. And I was like, cool. And I was a troublemaker, I'm not gonna lie. But I was still smart. I still did my shit. So it's whatever.
And look at you now.
On God, I'm on my senior year of college.
And he's an English speaker. He speaks English now.
Yeah, but in my Spanish speaking skills, I am considered a El No Sabo kid.
Y yo también. Y yo necesito aprender más.
Lentamente.
Pero mi
I
español
don't even know if that was this word, but
está bien.
we're gonna consider it anyways.
Sí, no.
Right? El No Sabos consider anything Spanish.
Pero yo quiero hablar todo en el podcast. So, por favor, dígame en español. Tu vida. I'm just kidding. Don't please. I don't know what you're saying.
Estaba pequeño.
And that's on period.
De 6 años.
Good job. Thank you.
Estaba con mi
Good
abuelita.
job.
Okay.
Okay, so
That's most of it, I guess.
to really get into it, Angelo and I are related through my dad's side of the family and his mom's side of the family. So we were speaking about my grandma Yolanda earlier, and my grandma Yolanda, like what we just mentioned, did have 9 children. And of those 9 children, 2 of those 9 are our parents. Your mother being one of them, obviously. Your mother, I believe, I'm not sure how many years older than my father is. But
how old's your father?
My dad was born in 76.
Mine was 79, so 3 years difference.
Your mom was born in 79?
No, 69. Apologies.
Okay.
So
she's 6 years. Yeah. 6
6
years older than my
yes.
dad.
Yes.
No, 7 years.
6, 7.
She's 7 years older than my dad. So technically, my dad would be 47 right now. Anyways, that's besides the point. So my dad is the second to youngest child that my grandma had.
I thought he was second
to youngest. And then the youngest is my Uncle Moses, who I love dearly. So, Uncle, if you're watching this,
we both very much do.
Te quiero mucho también.
I love Uncle Moses 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. How did you feel like growing up in like our big family dynamic was? Because like I know that, I don't know, I've said this earlier, like Chancellor said that, our grandma had 9 kids.
Yeah.
And of those 9 kids, you can like literally like say like at least every single one of those had like around average 5 kids. 5
at least.
Because there's 150 of us, yeah.
Yeah, so my dad alone has 7 kids.
Now?
Yeah, total. So I have an older sister that I unfortunately have not had the opportunity to meet yet. Her name is Anastasia, I believe. And then after Anastasia is my sister Alexis, who I do know. And we're not going to get into that. And then after Alexis, it's moi. After he had me in 1998, he had my younger sister Jalissa. And then after Jalissa, that's when I believe he found his now toxic wife.
Wifey now. She was now and will always be.
Yeah, well, his now wife. Yeah, they've been married for what, almost 22 years now, which disturbs me because well, we'll
She
maybe
has a hold of him.
we'll
She has a hold of
we'll
him.
unpack it in another episode
Yeah,
potentially, but
another story to tell later.
they've been together since I was 4 years old, and I will say she's probably the reason why I have not been able to see my dad.
And it's not to say that you haven't tried either. So
No, I
definitely
mean
wasn't
there's
on your end, so we know it's her.
yeah. Um, so my dad and Angelo's mom are brother and sister, and so that's how Angelo and I are related. And luckily, I will say, um, my dad's side of the family has been the only family I've actually have ever known. I don't really know my mom's side of the family.
Except for like your close related siblings, like your sister, right? Your
Well,
big
I don't
sister.
really know my mom's side of the family. As
Oh,
we know, I've mentioned in previous episodes, unfortunately, my mom doesn't know how to handle relationships. So all those relationships with her family have never been there. And so yeah, like literally, I as ironic as it's been, though my dad has not been in my life consistently, I can say that his family and only his family has been in my life. That's the only actual like blood family that I know. Like you're like the closest to blood it gets.
what memory do you have? Or youngest memory, like when you were like like young. Like what youngest memory do you have of each other?
Of you?
Yeah.
I don't know,
Do
dude.
you ever think about that? I do.
No,
Like I
I don't
do.
have it. I
I
don't.
try.
So like I think the only I don't really remember you growing up. I know that sounds mean, but I don't know if we were
No,
ever
not
like actually
taken.
around
There's
each
a lot
other.
of us. I don't. Not taken.
Yeah. Like
Thank
I
God.
remember like grandma, she would watch me and Angelique.
That's my
And
Angelique is
yeah,
also my
Angelique is
sister.
his not oldest, but
Older.
older sister. There's an oldest sister. Her name is Jasenia, which we absolutely love to death. And
Everyone loves.
we'll unpack her crazy ass another episode
I
possibly.
like the dynamic
Um,
duo.
but yes, I do remember my grandma would watch my cousin Angelique alongside me, and then I did have a stepbrother that my
Hmm.
grandma did watch. Also, his name was Bleep. And I remember one time I was at my grandma's house and we I got locked in the bathroom and these motherfuckers were making fun of me because I was locked in the bathroom and I was so pissed. And it was Angelique and Bleep outside laughing their asses off and I was so pissed because I was locked inside of the bathroom.
That sounds like my sister because I can never take anything serious. Like we just make we just laugh at stupid shit. I remember I even actually saw like a Instagram reel yesterday, and it was this cruise ship that got hit by like really high winds on the sea. And it was like, oh my God, it's the Titanic. And I was just like really thinking and sitting there. I was like, if I was on a cruise ship and like the sea would just like be coming in with waters full, filling up the floor,
Yeah.
I would literally be like playing slip and slide. Like I just know I wouldn't take my ass
I
serious. I
mean,
don't know what it is, but like that's just in
what do
genes.
you do in those moments? Are you supposed to be chill or are you
Why
supposed
the
to be
fuck would I be
serious?
scared dying? Like
I don't know.
it's gonna happen anyways.
Yeah, so um my grandma used to watch us and that so yeah, like that's how me and Angelo are related and I've pretty much have known this little bitch my whole life. I will say he hasn't always been this cool. I will say he's a tiny bit cool. I'm not gonna gas you
Why
all
do
the
you
way up.
think?
I'm gonna keep your ass humble because you need it. I'm gonna pop the little
So then,
balloon.
when was the valley?
When was what, Welly? I need
Like,
you to explain that to
where
me.
was my lowest? Like, where do you think I was
Bro,
not
you were a
cool?
bitch. Oh
How?
my gosh, do I okay,
Okay,
no,
what moment do
let's
you?
unpack
Okay,
this.
yes, unpack it because
Okay,
I need to know.
so maybe this was like in 2021. I don't know like what energy you were on or like what you were drinking or what crack you were smoking, but you thought you were like
The shit.
the shit, like untouchable, like, and I'm like, bro, like, I get it. Like, you're feeling confident, you're feeling yourself, and like, you're trying to learn, you're trying to grow, you're trying to be this, you're trying to be that. That's fine. But like, don't treat me any type of way because you think you're some kind of God. And here's an example of it.
Me right now?
Yeah, and here, well, this is like
Because of my
2 years
fit?
ago. No, this is like two
Oh,
years ago. So I specifically remember this moment where Angelo and I had planned on hanging out, and I can't remember exactly what it is that we were gonna do, but he had told me he was gonna go get a haircut, and he was gonna be done in X amount of time. So then I call or text him in X amount of time, and he's still at the barbershop, not even gotten his haircut yet, and I'm like, bro, you told me you're gonna be done at X amount of time, and you weren't done. That's like annoying. And he literally started a full-on fight with me because he told me that I was wrong because I had this perception of him, and his perception of him isn't his responsibility. And I just thought that was crazy because,
You know,
like, you told me you were gonna be done at X amount of time and you weren't. So how is my perception of you fucked up or messed up when you told me you were gonna be done in X amount of time and you weren't? And then it started this whole entire fight that literally was not even necessary. And it's because you were like on like I'm like you're on your Kanye shit. And that's okay because we can call each other out on that shit.
you know what's so funny
And
though?
you were a bitch.
When you said that, I was like, you know what? That is some shit I would say. Whereas like your expectations of me is not my responsibility to
Yeah.
live up to. I can confirm that,
That's
but
literally exactly what you said. And I'm like, no,
but
bitch, you told me what to expect.
I know that was I admit I made a mistake because like I was vouching for like my barber and he was taking a
Anyways,
minute, but
that's besides the point.
I get cuts every 2 weeks, but
Angelo
obviously I
is
don't
a
have one
bigger and better
now.
person. A bigger and better
I've
person.
definitely been humbled a lot, especially since COVID. So
Yeah, I mean, bitch, that happened after COVID. What do you mean since
I know that's what
COVID?
I'm saying. Like COVID was like a 3 year process. Okay,
Anyways,
it took some
yeah,
development.
so yeah, Angelo's like okay now. He's manageable. He's a more responsible.
I could
He can take accountability for his actions.
accountability.
And I think he is able to now like admit when he
I'm wrong,
isn't right.
which is very
And it
cool.
takes a big person to do that because like
Which happens very rarely because I never make mistakes. But
okay, okay, okay. I'm just gonna say nothing, but okay.
I'm just kidding. I'm
No, that's
kidding.
fine. But yeah, so he's cool now. I can tolerate him now.
I feel like
Back
yeah.
back then I didn't want to beat the shit out of him, but hey, I mean that's what family's for, you know what I mean? A little tussle. Speaking of tussle,
Speaking of family,
speaking of family,
I was
um,
like,
is that on my? Oh, yep, that's on my notes
list
to
of
talk about
topics.
today. Yeah.
No, but
So
so what are your boundaries with family? Because I know that like with so many of us, like how do you like challenge that, especially with like ones who you are currently feuding with? Because like
I mean, there are no feuds.
personally,
There are no feuds.
yeah, I can agree to
Right.
disagree,
We
but
can agree to disagree all day, bitch. No, so I think like okay, obviously like I mentioned this in every single episode. I'm not perfect, right? And
you're not perfect, and then
sorry. Anyways, if for those watching, Angelo is just being annoying and drinking his drink. I'm not perfect, and like we all grow and we all learn, and I that's what I expect of people, right? I don't expect everyone to come out of the womb being a perfect human being because there's no such thing as even a perfect human being in general, right? Comma, but I feel like as you age, there are some sort of expectations for you to learn and grow.
for yourself, right? Like,
Yeah, for
mhm.
yourself. And I'm obviously talking about myself, like, but I'm talking about like you and you listening and you watching and my cousin this and my aunt this and my grandma this and my grandpa that, like everybody, you know what I mean? I
Mhm.
don't care who you are. Like, I feel like no matter what, you should always want better for yourself. And you should always want to like learn. And some people don't. And you know what? I've learned that. And unfortunately, it is what it is. Okay. And so through that time, I have been learning how to draw my own boundaries, and it's been tough because growing up the way that I did, and obviously, like, I'm still learning till this day, like, more about myself.
Props.
I'm still learning more about myself, and recently I figured out that I'm the biggest people pleaser ever, and what I do is I try to make sure that the person, no matter who it is satisfied so that I can keep myself safe because when I was growing up, I was always having to make sure that like I took care of like my mom and my sister and this and that and make sure like everyone else was good when I never really like actually like stopped to take care of myself and make sure that myself was good, right? And so I think like through like the traumas and like all of that stuff, I've subconsciously have learned how to like fawn, and it's the trauma response, and it's just like trying to please everyone and just trying to make sure like the peace is there and make sure everything is good and make sure that there's no like animosity or drama or tension or anything like that, right? It's
Hmm.
just like me catering to you to make sure that like we are good no matter how I feel or how I'm X, Y, and Z, right? And so I think through COVID and through like everything that I've just been learning over the past years, I've been learning that like, yeah, you know what? Unfortunately, I do have to draw boundaries with those that I love, and like obviously, I've I've speak about it in past episodes. I've had to draw a boundary with those that I'm supposed to keep close to me. Like unfortunately, my mother. You know what I mean? Like I haven't talked to my mom in almost a year, and that's just because like I know that having my mom in my life is going to cause me more stress than it's actually even worth.
Hmm.
And so it's fine to just keep it out, right? That's where I draw my boundaries. That's where I draw the line, and that's fine. And so, like what we're talking about is family, obviously, and like boundaries and stuff. And yeah, I've unfortunately had to draw some pretty hard boundaries and hard lines with some family members, and I feel like I do give people a lot of chances and I do give people a lot of opportunities, and I think maybe that's where I fall short because like I feel like once someone has already proved who they are to you, there's really no changing that, right? I've learned that with my mom.
Unless they fall under like very
No.
like hard extraneous like circumstance. I don't know.
No.
Like I feel like I'm
No.
different. I think that's where I differentiate.
Okay, tell me.
Because I
And I'll
feel
tell so you tell me what you think and then I'll tell you what I
like the
think.
way that you think that people like don't change in a while, I think people can change for the good or worse,
Yeah.
granted, but I think it's just like with life itself, like we don't live in everyone's shoes, so it's like they probably are going through some sort of like series of events or like ways of thinking that like probably like alters their course of thinking of like how they perceive their relations with a lot of their like family members. And you know um I think that's what gives them like that perception into like actually looking into like, oh, you know what, maybe like this this person I should give a like, I want to try to work that out, and because like regardless of what it is, like they see who where that relationship was, where it is now, and how they would want it to go. So it just really is like how they wish it to be in the future.
Right.
So, I mean, it just really depends because, like, if they like want it to be in the future, like very good and very like, I want to be on good terms with you again, then that should be like kind of like a way
Recognize.
of recognition of like, oh, you know what, there is some tension between us, and I like want to resolve it. But then again, like, it just depends on the situation. It really is
Exactly. It
situation
is
by
definitely a
situation.
case by case
Yeah.
scenario. And where I see this affecting a relationship is with my cousin.
Oh, we're name dropping like that.
I
Oh,
mean I'll bleep, maybe I'll bleep her name.
you can, yeah.
I'll
That
I'll most likely bleep her name.
bleep.
My cousin Bleep. And I feel like with this particular cousin, right, I have showed a lot of love, I have showed a lot of care, and I have showed a lot of empathy towards because I get it. Like, I get the position that she's in. She's the youngest sibling. You know what I mean? Like,
She's the baby of the family, but
she's
so
the,
am I.
but whatever. I guess I'm just giving her excuses. But, like, I just feel like she's just been super sheltered.
Sheltered? Oh,
Sheltered.
yeah.
She doesn't have a lot of responsibilities. She doesn't. I'm not gonna dig into her like that, but there,
She's taken care of.
she's she's well by her parents, and that's okay. Like, I'm not mad about that, but I just like need people to know that like that's not everyone's life,
Yeah.
and not everyone experiences the same thing that they do. So, but again, that's just besides the point. But this specific cousin, I feel like always has their nose in everything. And all of the drama, whether it's needed or not. And like, to be very specific, one of the 15 sisters that I have, because I have a lot of sisters,
Mm-hmm.
decided to just up and leave to California from Colorado.
Oh, I know what you're talking about now.
And this particular sister has two children. She has a boy and she has a girl. And I considered myself to have a very close relationship with not only the sister, but my nephew and my niece.
Tus sobrinos. Mm-hmm.
I was constantly, it was like a constant, whether we were FaceTiming every day, I would see them a couple of times a week. And then one day, out of nowhere,
I remember this.
homegirl just decides to get up and leave. Pack up her car, her dog, and her two children, and drive 16, 18 hours
It's around like
to
16.
California from Colorado, from Denver. And I was confused. I was shook. I was shocked. I was like, what the heck? And I, of course, was texting my sister because I did have a location and I was able to see where she was. And I seen that she was like in Utah. So I'm like, oh my God, of course she's going to California. So I text her. I don't hear back. So then I text my cousin because I know that my
Cousin Bleep.
cousin Bleep, because I know that cousin is in constant contact with said sister. So I text cousin and I'm like, hey, what's going on? Where's my sister? Like, do you know anything? She's like, I don't know nothing. I don't know what's going on. And I'm like, okay, like, whatever. Well, when you find something out, let me know. So she said, okay, I'll let you know. And then I, like, maybe the next day or a couple hours later after that, my sister ends up texting me and she's like, hey, yeah, I'm moving to California. That's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. I'm already here. And I was like, okay, cool. You know, I'm sad. I'm hurt. Whatever. X, Y, and Z. So me, being naive,
Yeah.
I think that literally does not know anything. So I text. I was like, yup. She moved to California and she tore those kids right out of our lives. Like, that's just how I felt. I no, I mean, gone. I had a relationship with those kids, and now I've seen them once since then, and that was like what, 2 years ago? Almost 2 years ago, a year and a half
Has it
ago.
been?
Yeah. So
Damn.
that I was of course devastated, you know. And so I text or cut bleep. Oh wait.
My bad. I had to just double check.
I text said cousin, and I'm like, yeah. My sister moved to California, and she tore those kids right out of our lives. And I'm not trying to be dramatic. I'm not trying to cause drama. That's how I feel. Okay. So said cousin screenshots this message that I said to her, and she sent it to my sister. And my sister sends a screenshot to me. She was like, why would you say this? And I'm just like, because that's how I feel. A. And B, fuck said cousin. Because She knew the entire time what was going on and decided not to tell me, even though she knew that I was worried fucking sick. And then, on top of that, she decides to screenshot our messages and send it to my cousin or to my sister with I don't know what intent she had, but the only thing that I could think of is to stir up drama because what else could she expect from sending a screenshot like that to my sister? And like, of course, like I'm not talking shit. I wasn't talking shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's not anything that I wouldn't say to my sister directly. I'm not scared to say anything. But like, what was the point of that? What was the point of screenshotting my messages that I'm having a private conversation with you, and you're gonna like go and just like be like, oh my God, look what your brother just sent me. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's so frustrating.
I think foremost, I think what it is was perhaps this cousin was, I don't know what it was, but I think they were probably respecting the wishes of your sister to not say much because your sister didn't tell us anything about her moving anywhere. And like we found out when she left the day of. And like of course, she's gonna keep close contact with that. Like our cousin's gonna keep close contact with your sister and respect her wishes of her not saying anything about what she's doing. Um, and the screenshotting of messages is a bit blurred in between the lines because it's like one, you can iterate what a person said through a simple like summary paragraph or summary like sentence. But I feel like when you screenshot a message, that gets a bit personal because then you lose a bit of trust with that person to have a one-on-one conversation with. Because then when you feel like you're talking to that one person, you feel like your
Who
messages.
else is this? Who else is
Who is
gonna
it
see
gonna be?
this
Yeah, who else is
conversation?
gonna see it? So perhaps like the screenshotting wasn't the best idea, but maybe it was just a shorter way of trying to see how you guys both feel about the situation. And I don't know, like, I feel like a lot of it goes into just like kind of respecting. Like, was it disrespectful for her to tell us the day of that she left? Yes. But was it
For my
like,
sister?
yeah.
I mean, nonetheless, like
But then
obviously,
again, it
like
is
it's all on
hers.
her time.
Everyone's on her,
It's
yeah.
on her time, right? Like, and I don't
Everyone's
expect her
on
to
their
be
own
like,
path,
"Look, dude, I'm moving
timeline.
to California," and like I think she honestly did tell us. Maybe I didn't take it serious,
I
but
I didn't expect it coming.
she did tell us, and I get that it's like obviously like going to be on her time and X, Y, and Z,
Hmm.
but like I don't know, maybe I bleep. I'm gonna bleep a lot of this freaking episode. Maybe you said cousin. I don't know. I'm not seeing her side. I don't care.
Did you say a different name than expected? Because you said a different name. Who the heck? Oh, wait. I'm confused because
I said
you said
said-
okay.
I didn't say my brother. Why would I say?
No, that's why I was like, okay.
Anyways, so
You're
yeah.
welcome to look back at the videos.
So
Oh no, never mind.
I just was just like, after that conversation that I had with said cousin, I'm no longer interested in having any kind of relationship with her because if this is what our relationship's gonna entail, then it's just like not something that I'm particularly interested in. And I've been standing on business. Like I think my sister moved to California in the summer of 2022. And now we're in the winter of 2023. So yeah, I've been standing on business. And so the reason why we're even talking about this entire situation is because of something that actually occurred earlier this week that
I think
I've
this past weekend.
was it this weekend?
This past weekend.
What
Because that's when we were texting each other. And I was at the graduation. Um, yeah, because I was at a party and I had
so it
told,
was this weekend.
yeah, it was this weekend on Saturday,
Okay.
the 9th or the 8th of December. But I remember getting a call about this particular cousin wanting to fix things with
Can
you.
you explain the relationship that this particular person and said cousin have?
Who, me?
No, the person that called you. The person that
Oh,
called
it's not even
Angelo.
family. It's not
The
even
person
family.
that called Angelo.
It wasn't even
I
family.
want him to explain the relationship that this person has to said cousin.
They're pretty much like very close, like best friends since I want to say like sixth grade. Um, I know that this person shares like the same. I don't just share
Don't
that.
say it.
Yeah. So this particular friend was very close to said cousin, and I know that like because they maybe thought that they were really like close, that they can involve themselves into family affairs. Um, Personally, I always think that business and personal is different, especially when it comes to the like the people involved into it. When it's family, keep it family. I 100% believe that I don't like when outside parties are involved because then it just gets messier and it's just like it brings out outside perspective when they don't even know what happened. Um, but yeah, said person reached out to me saying that he
Called.
called me, said that, said cousin wants to fix relations, and I'm over here partying, getting drunk, and like for me, I know that I only want to wish the best for my family, and I don't want to see like family fighting, even though it is a bit like I'm saying this out of like maybe bias, but like I know that with us, certain cousins, we're very close. Um, but I know I'm not the one to speak because I have cousins who are dead to me, so I understand your perspective, and that's why I'm not like very much like pushing you to want to fix this. Um, so I understand where you stand about being betrayed in that trust, but it sucks to see that like this very close knit circle of cousins and family, arguing and fighting and being in beef. But there I feel like there could have been a way around it rather than the way it went.
Right. So this character called Angelo and was basically trying to coordinate with Angelo on how we can get Chancellor and said cousin
Back on good terms.
back on good terms, reunited X, Y, and Z, okay? And though I appreciate said friend, it's really not her place and or her business to be trying to mend relationships like that, especially A, since she's not the one who tarnished the relationship to begin with, right?
I don't even think she needs to be tarnishing it, but
No, but I'm
she
just saying
doesn't
she's
need to be
not the one
involved.
that made me want not want to talk to this cousin.
Yeah.
It's this cousin's actions and this cousin's doings that made me not want to speak to them just because like who wants and I'm like I'm not maybe I am petty. I don't care. King Petty. Hi, it's me.
Stand on business.
Stand on business. But like who wants that? Who wants excess drama in their life that's absolutely 110,000% not even necessary, especially when someone already has so much shit to worry about, like life and business.
Especially where you were like have been growing from, like especially like when you have moved from Houston. Like I remember, like I know I always get criticized about like why I'm the favorite cousin. I don't want to be like tooting my own horn or
No,
anything, but
like do
like
what you need to do.
no, like I feel like I very am much the person and family member that is praised a lot because I know that I put my back just like you. Like I'm a people pleaser, and like I'll know that I will take care of the people that love me to the fullest extent and even more. So I remember the time where I even helped you moved from Houston, and
Yeah.
that was like probably like our favorite.
That was
That
fun.
was my favorite bonding moment with you because we literally karaokeed like what, like 10
16 hours.
16 hours.
16 hours from Houston, Texas to Denver, baby.
And like I feel like that's just where our relationship grew. And like not only did that speak of my character and the person that I am, like it only shows like who I am as a person and who I want you to see. I'm like investing into you
Yeah.
to want to see you become the better version that you are.
Yeah.
And I feel like sometimes that is not depicted in other family members. And like granted, like some relationships are one-sided. You may have invested a lot of your relations or a lot of your own personal investments into said person or said family member, and you don't really receive anything back. And I'm not saying that like family
You
members
always need to
are a
get something back.
transactional
Yeah.
like kind of deal, but it comes with a balance.
So I think Angelo and I are similar in that sense. Like I don't, and I'm not sure exactly what your love language is,
Hmm.
and it might be similar to mine, but my love language isn't buying me things.
Hmm.
My love
Mine
language,
is.
my no, no, be honest.
I'm just kidding. No,
Like,
that's not.
do materials things that make you actually happy?
No.
Like, like, and this is, and I'm not saying this is like a real thing, but like, for instance, like if your mom like hurt you so bad, but she was like,
Here's a
I bought
quote.
you a fucking Gucci belt. Like, why are
Mhm.
you mad? Like, yeah, you bought me a belt, but like that doesn't mean my my heart hurts
Mhm.
still, you know? So I don't know if you're in that way. But my love language is like time spent and like just genuine connection and this is like a perfect segue because like basically like what you're saying is like I have a hard time struggling with this even now just because like I don't want to feel like relationships or friendships or like family like it all needs to be like reciprocated, but it does. It 100%
In
does.
an essence, it does.
It
Yeah.
does because like I
Because you're
I
feeling.
think this
You're
is
feeling.
my
Yeah.
fault and I'm gonna say this 100%. This is my fault. I ride so fucking hard for my people. Like I literally am a ride or die. Like I would like for the people that I hold so close to me, I would literally take a bullet for 10 times. Like I don't give a fuck. Like I ride so fucking hard for my people and I and this is my fault, but I shouldn't, but I expect some reciprocation. I expect it and that's my fault and I already know that. I already know that. I shouldn't expect anybody I shouldn't expect anything from anybody. You know what I mean? I maybe should just be lucky for what I get, but at the same time, like when I've poured so much love and so much time and so
And
always talking about how I pour so much like energy and time and love and whatever X, Y, and Z into people. And I feel like for me the bare
yeah,
minimum
that's not
is
it wet. Sorry.
are you
Continue.
okay?
Yeah, I burped.
Anyways.
You spend so much time and
Yeah, and
energy
I
into
feel like the
people.
bare minimum is for that to be reciprocated, right? I'm not expecting you to buy me things. I'm not expecting you to make me dinner. I'm not expecting you to do backflips on the moon. Like, I literally just want you to give me what I give you, and I think that that's maybe where I fall
At least somewhere to meet in the
short.
middle.
Yeah, because maybe people aren't just maybe people don't have the capacity to be the person that you are because I'm again we're not tooting our own horns but like I always get told by so many people that like I am like such a true like genuine person and like they just love my authenticity and they love how I'm just unapologetically myself and maybe not everyone is at that point in their lives but that's another thing. So we're talking about like just relationships, and I think it was a perfect segue because I'm currently kind of just going through a few changes in life where unfortunately maybe, you know, I've outgrown some people or maybe vice versa. Maybe some people have outgrown me, but there definitely has been some changes there, and it's been a challenge and I don't want to cry right now, but it's been tough and it's been rough, but at the end of the day, like I think we always just have to do what's best for ourselves. We always have to look out for ourselves and make sure that ourselves are taken care of far more before anyone else's, because I think, like I was just telling you, I'm a people pleaser, you know what I mean? I always make sure that everyone else is taken care of before myself, and I think that's where I'm starting to make that change in my own life, where I need to love and care for myself and make sure that myself is okay
And
before
that's
anyone
where like
else.
a lot we're both learning, especially as we're getting older. Like you're almost 30. Bitch. I'm
Anyways,
sorry, I'm just kidding. Um
I'm 25, but okay.
Angelo, that's so rude.
Angelo, that's so rude. I'm 25.
um I've been waiting for that one. Um no, but it's like that's a lot where we're like learning to grow from is because it's like as we become adults, we're learning that we are our number one responsibility in taking care of ourselves,
Yeah.
and like that includes with filling up our own glass and before we fill up others. And then that's where we like evaluate our kind of like export versus imports, kind of like just the way of trading. Sorry, I don't know why I went into like a business mindset,
I know.
but
I'm like,
you get it though,
okay.
right? Like the way that you're like kind of investing rather than you're profiting from.
Yeah.
And it's not like again saying like not a transactional like relationship, but like it's more of a beneficial
No, actually,
way.
let's break
It
that down, the
it's a beneficial
transactional
way.
part, because I I think I maybe, I don't know if I told you, but
You're gay.
how did you know?
I just knew, dude.
Fuck. Was it obvious? What told you, or what
Them
was like?
I don't know, them skinny jeans you wear every day. I don't know. They said something.
They be tight, whatever. I be filling out those jeans or whatever. But
But that wallet be fat.
uh, but no, I actually forgot what I was gonna say. So thank you.
You're welcome. It's that it is D.
Edge there,
It is D.
undiagnosed baby.
Uh,
Uh,
Self-diagnosed actually, because I can't afford a doctor.
no,
But
okay. So we were talking about things being transactional,
oh yes,
and like relationships being transactional, and how A, maybe they're not supposed to be transactional. B, maybe they are supposed to be transactional, comma, but quick example. I messaged a friend, a long lifetime friend. I've known said friend for almost 20 years of my life. Angela, how old am I? 25.
30. Oh,
I have known this woman for 20 years of my life, and I'm in a point in my life where I'm growing my business, and my business is growing maybe even faster than I am. And
the
it's
way that you're at
frightening.
now,
It's frightening because like
it was
I
yeah.
genuinely do feel like I need help. I
You
I
need guidance, not help.
I need guidance, yes. And so my said friend has been a photographer for as long as I can remember. And so, of course, like being a photographer myself and being a creative individual, like I fall on this person for support and for help whenever it is that I feel like I need it, because A, she's probably like 6 years older than I am. So she has a little bit more life experience than I do. But at the same time, I always feel like we find ourselves in the same spots in life
Feel free to beep
at
the
the
name, but
same
let me know who this is.
time.
Do I know this person?
No.
Okay, then never mind. I was like, I'm trying to think. I'm like,
And
30.
so I today reached out to this person because, like I said, I feel my business is growing faster than I can keep up with. And so I reached out to this person just to get a little bit of advice on pricing, because your boy is a badass photographer and he wants to make sure that he's being compensated properly for it, because I'm going to be quite honest, I've been lowballing the fuck out of myself.
No, hashtag
And
stand on business. That's
and
the
yeah, in
difference.
2024, that's over. Like, I'm going to be paid what I'm worth, and that's just that. Like, I don't care how I figure it out, who I figure it out with. I'm going to figure it out, and we are going to grow our business in 2024. and stand on business. I don't care, right?
Yeah, we're breaking generational curses. That's what
So
we're
I
doing.
reached out to said friend and I was like, hey, like, you're an experienced photographer. Like, I don't know how to value myself as a photographer. I hate talking about money, especially when it
As
comes to
a
like
self-service, yeah,
as an entrepreneur, you know what I mean? So
entrepreneur,
entrepreneur. And
entrepreneur.
so yeah, this person replied to me and it wasn't very good. They told me that they feel like I only reach out to them when I need something and they feel like our friendship's only transactional, which I did take personal offense to because like I said, I've known this person for 20 years of my life. When the fuck has our relationship ever been transactional aside from when she's been acting weird with me? You know what I mean? Like I've noticed a shift in our relationship and yeah, maybe she has some built up animosity. She might have some feelings towards me that she hasn't expressed. But how am I supposed to know how she feels if she doesn't tell me? So I'm like receiving this weird energy from her and I've just been like, whatever. It's fine. It is what it is. I'll look past it. I'm a bigger person. Whatever, right? But then today I was like, you know what? No, fuck that. Like she went off on me and I was just like, my bad. But then I was like, no, you know what? Like I'm gonna stand up for myself and I'm gonna say what the fuck's good. Like what's your problem? Like why are you mad? And like we it's either A, this is the alternative I said either A, we fucking stop this friendship now. We end it here. We call whatever 17 years of friendship a quit, and that's that. Or we talk about this like actual adults and we find an actual real resolution to said problem because I know that you feel some type of way and you haven't been telling me. So I think it's time for you to, be an adult and tell me how you feel because you haven't been telling me. You've been holding animosity towards me. You've been making me pay for it. And I think it's time for you to fucking tell me what's up. And so I told her, I'm like, you either A, let this whole thing go. And I think she maybe misunderstood that. I think she was just, I think she maybe took it as me telling her she needs to let it go. And like,
Let it
we've
be.
been friends for X amount of times, let whatever go. But that's not what I meant. I meant, we either let this friendship go and you continue to treat me like shit, or we fucking sit here and talk about it like goddamn adults and find a resolution to this shit. Because I'm not gonna sit here and argue or fight with anybody because at this point, like, I'm not gonna fight for any relationships in my life. If you wanna be in my life, you will be in my life.
So
And if you
then,
haven't been, then fuck you.
no, so then that like raises a question of what or when is a very circumstantial situation into speaking like adults? Because I know we spoke about like said cousin and this particular friend. What differentiates between that situation of which you responded?
So for me, I feel like obviously like growing up the way that we did, we weren't taught to express our emotions properly.
And that's why we're learning
We
unbreaking.
weren't we weren't taught to fully articulate exactly what it was that was going through our heads and what was making us feel the way that we were feeling, right? But growing up, we have to fucking either decide to continue to live the same exact life that we were taught to live, or B, man the fuck up, grow the fuck up, and be the fuck up. Right? And so for me, like I know that I was never, ever, ever taught how to talk about my feelings and talk about my emotions because it's an uncomfortable thing, right? Me telling
I
Angelo,
still feel
me
uncomfortable
telling
talking about my
Angelo how he
emotions.
pisses me off makes me feel weird, but
No, don't you tell me every day.
Angelo used to know he pisses me the fuck
You
off.
tell me every day. What do you mean? Yeah,
So, but right. So I feel like maybe said friend might still feel like she can't particularly fully articulate exactly what it is that she's feeling towards me. So to answer your question, I think being an adult is like A, taking responsibility for whatever it is that happened, whatever situation, and then B, learning how to properly communicate with said person. Let's say like you, for instance,
Yep.
me telling you, "Hey, Angelo, you did this, and it didn't make me feel good because of X, Y, and Z,
Mm-hmm.
and this and that, and blah 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 blah." Right? That I feel like that's being an adult and
Targeting.
not like trying to fight or trying to make you feel like shit for what you did or what you said, because like we're all human, and like I said, we're not perfect,
Yeah, yeah,
right?
of course, 100%.
I mean, I'm not perfect. I say some mean shit. I
I
do.
mean,
I say some
that's
things
where
out of
we
spite.
differentiate.
Okay, right,
I'm just
because we're
kidding. I'm
perfect.
kidding. No, I'm
Because
not.
we're perfect.
I'm
We're
not. I'm actually
perfect.
not. I was
Um,
just kidding.
no, but like I think being an adult is actually learning how to properly articulate and communicate how you're feeling without it having to be an argument. Because why does anything ever have to be an argument these days? Like, why can't we just talk about how we feel
It's
without
literally a
anyone being
conversation. It's like
yeah.
literally just how you really like take in that information and like if you're gonna choose to be offended or not. I know countless of times where I've been offended, but like I'm like, you know what, I'm still gonna choose to respond with at least some kind of like decency or like respect. And I don't know, like I can see where like some of these relationships come into evaluation where like it's like, all right, do you deem some of my respect to even respond with like how do I say it? Like in a way of treating you with the same amount of respect. I know that like I've also dealt with very difficult people and like literally like I'm going through finals and like my partner dropped like the week before Thanksgiving, so I had to finish finals. And if you didn't know, I'm an architecture major.
Denver.
Yeah.
Can
Oh, bleep the name out. But
you also talk about just real quick the little fraternity that you're in? Not little, sorry, that's
I
kind of
mean, all
mean.
it is
Can you
like
talk about the fraternity that you're in?
I did join a fraternity, and
He's your brother,
I am a brother of
Christ.
something something. um, but yeah, I'm actually one of the few of the cousins within our family
Our
side
family.
of the three
I think you're
percent.
like
I'm one
what?
of like the three
The
percent.
third,
No, fourth, I think.
fourth
Third or
cousin,
fourth.
fourth
Third or
family
fourth.
member
Third or fourth.
to actually go to college.
I've done the math. It's like 3%. I'm the 3% of the cousins who gonna be or that is going to be graduating
High school
in
or
college.
college.
Bitch, I excelled in that one. I was on next one. No, I
Graduating college.
graduating college, and it has been a journey, especially with COVID. But yeah, I'm in my senior year. Taking my last studio sequence that I'm
I feel
currently
like you were getting
taking.
off track because that's not what
Yeah,
we were
we
talking
were talking
about.
about relationships, but particularly with the
No, but
senior
we love the
year,
scholar.
we love a
A
vocabulariist.
vocabularist.
But no, yeah, so like literally like I'm in my like last year of college and I had to do a group partner project in my last studio sequence, and this particular partner has had a history of kind of like being a victim. And even then, when she decided to throw me under the bus, technically, when she told the professor I wasn't doing anything when I was the only one doing everything, I still maintained, you know, like
A level of cool.
cool and respect. And like, no matter what, I kind of like evaluated that for myself, where it's like, no matter how hard you wish or pray on my downfall, like I'm still gonna respect and react in a way
Come
of
out on top.
professional. Yeah, I'm still gonna react professional, and I'm like gonna pretend. I'm not saying pretend, but like I will still act in a way of like
Grace.
grace. Yeah.
Yeah.
So like that's where I kind of like feel like it kind of comes into play, like where like not all conversations must lead into argument,
Yeah.
but
Conversations can be just conversations.
conversations are just
And I
conversations.
think that's where people need to really figure out the difference between having an actual conversation where we are able to discuss our emotions and having an argument.
But let me just pop off on the one fact that when we did have a difficult conversation with my group partner, this bitch decided to fucking point out the fact that I walked away. And I was like, in the middle of our, like, no, it was like after we finished our argument, like in the middle of the semester,
Discussion.
yeah, discussion, in the middle of our, like, the semester when we were having difficulties. And I was like, you know what? I need to walk away for like about 20 minutes. Give me a break because our class is like 6 hours long. So I was like, all right, you know what? I'm gonna walk away for like 20 minutes. I need to cool off before I
Pop
blow.
off.
Yeah, because I will pop off and I will make a bitch cry.
And you'll
Um,
make yourself look like a fool.
yeah, and I don't want that, and I really don't. And I carry myself so highly, so it's just like,
Yeah, I get you.
hmm. So you know,
Get it.
it goes back to that conversation where you were saying like, not every argument or not every conversation
Is an
has
argument.
is an argument, but it does.
I think they can just be healthy discussions where we can possibly come to some kind of resolution. Because why does it always have to be a fight? It doesn't ever have to be a fight.
A loser goes around a problem. A winner goes through it, and
Yeah, like I'm saying, like you have
that's one of my
something,
favorite poems.
you have some beef with me. You have some feeling
Do
towards
I?
me. Please let me know. Like,
I don't know.
don't hold it in and like make me like basically suffer the consequences of whatever it
I mean,
is.
you've been making me drown in non-sponsored vodka,
Shut up.
but
But that's besides the fact.
where's my vape?
Uh-oh, she's fiending right now. Okay, so yeah, we were talking about like just little family drama and kind
That was
of
a
just
long conversation about
yeah, and just
family.
like drawing some boundaries. I'm
Oh
not
shit.
Oh, we didn't even talk about said cousin posting on said social
Oh,
media.
we didn't even discuss the
Yeah.
current situation of why we brought it
Why are
up.
we even talking about it to begin with? So,
Well, I mean, we did talk about how like said
friend
friend of
called
that
you.
cousin
Yeah, I think we
called
kind of
you.
like left off there. So I think maybe you should pick back up on that conversation
So yeah,
and
like basically what the best friend intended or intentions were was to kind of like help mend the relationships or mend the relations between you and said cousin.
yeah,
And one, like I understood and I was like, great, you know, I love to see, you know, an olive branch being extended. But
olive branch.
what I didn't know was how it was going to be brought about.
Yeah, how is it gonna come to light?
Because I was told and informed that this said cousin posted a Facebook post.
So before we go deeper into it, I do feel like I need to verbatim read out this
Is it to me?
Facebook post. And mind you, look at
Shut
who sent it
up.
to me. Look at look at who sent it to me and look what they said.
God damn it. So was that the first one or was it
That
somebody
was the
else?
first one.
Oh, so I wasn't the only one. So
No,
you
you were the last one.
when I told you
You
about it,
were the
you had
last
already
one.
known about the Facebook post.
I had done been known.
Okay.
You were the last person to tell me. So this post
I was
was
drunk.
this is a screenshot. This post was posted 54 minutes after the screenshot was taken. And the post from said cousin says, ugh, someone let my cousin Chancellor know I miss him and to unblock me so we can make up. Laughing, crying emoji, sad face emoji with a tear. On Facebook for not only our family to see, but her friends and everyone else that she's friends with because I know she has a lot of friends on Facebook. And so another cousin who I unfortunately don't have the best relationship with screenshotted it and sent it to me. And they sent me the screenshot and said, guess I'll put this here. Not trying to stir anything up. Love you though, cuz. Hope you're doing well.
He really does wish you well. But I felt very sentimental to the part where he said, like where she said, I missed you. But um just the whole of going about it was a bit not normal because it's like one, you worked so hard in the past couple of years to like maintain like a social media presence in a way of like professionalism. and this kind of being like a not necessarily attack, but like a sideways
A
attack,
side track, a side rail.
a side rail of kind of like aiming towards you, and I was like, ooh, that might
Yeah.
have not been the best way, or maybe that's not the route I would have gone,
No.
but it didn't work, obviously, because you were still upset after that.
Yeah, because I'm like, dude, like, why are you gonna put all of our business out there for everyone to see? Like, how embarrassing is that? And then on top of that, like, I have my cousins, which whatever, sending this post to me, but then like I have like actual real life friends who I'm
Friends,
actually
family, folks at
genuine
home.
friends with sending me this post, and I think it's so embarrassing. It's embarrassing. Like, why would you do that? Like, this is what I expressed to
What do you?
Angelo.
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead, go ahead.
Continue.
No,
Because
go
I
ahead.
was gonna ask, what do you propose that she would have done to like if she had wanted to?
Hold on, there's like something on your mic. Let me get it off real
Oh,
quick.
it's my eyelash. What do you propose that she would have done better at trying to mend this beef or relation or
Well,
rocky
for
relationship that you guys have
one, she could
together
have most definitely kept it off of social media.
off the internet presence?
No one needs to know about anything that she and I have going on because 9 times out of 10, the reason why we have something going on
Is it
is
because
because
social
of
media?
her.
Oh, yeah.
And so, right?
Yeah, uh-huh.
And so, yeah, I'm just like, wow,
Way to
that's.
bring in the community,
And so
huh?
to answer your question, no, literally, like community things AF. But to answer your question, like, you know, she could have attempted to reach me through her mother's phone, her father's phone, her
You're
brother's
trying to
phone.
bring up solutions outside of unblocking her. The
Well, if
pettiness
you're
is
trying to
real.
get a hold of me and your ass is blocked, don't post on Facebook because your ass is blocked. But yeah, like she could have said, "Hey, Angelo, can you please have cousin Chancellor unblock me so I could talk to him?" And
And I thought that was the point. But I guess the post was already posted when they had contacted me, so I was like, oh,
too
well,
late.
yeah, too late. Like y'all chose your own route
Yeah, you
and
guys literally dug your grave, made your bed.
but do you think this relationship is still unredeemable?
I don't think that there's not a chance for us to ever have a relationship. I just don't know if that our relationship will ever be the same ever.
Anytime soon.
Or just in general. Because again, something else that I've been learning about myself is I have trust issues. Yeah, I don't trust anyone. I don't trust no one, and that's not anyone's fault, and I know that's something that I have to work on, comma, but I'm sorry. It takes a lot for you to trust me, and if you break my trust, then I'm sorry, but that's just the end of that.
And again, at the end of the day, it's at your own pace, whether you wish to seek or even mend that relationship again. But I know that this other person should definitely take into consideration that you're on your own path. You have definitely brought yourself up from the very deep, lowest valleys, and you're bringing yourself up to like at least to a very highest peak, especially now that you've never been before. Like you are bringing yourself up, and it's like you don't really have time to put your energy or your worth into like going into the past.
Yeah.
And, like that's understandable, and I give you so much respect and props for that because like seeing you grow, especially just coming out of high school and not like having to go like anywhere else. Like I'm not saying school was like should have been the next option, but you know what you wanted to do and like you've seeked how to get there, and though you're not where you want to be at the moment, you're somewhere better than you could have ever thought where
Possible.
yeah, where you could have ever thought yourself to be right now.
Yeah.
And again, like I'm so proud of you. Like I will say it again and again, but like I am absolutely so proud of you to make a name for yourself, and especially to put yourself in an environment where you didn't know nothing, and yet look at you, like you have a title and a position into where you have put so much effort from where you were. Like you have put yourself, no, you did not put yourself, you've worked your way, you've worked your way into an environment where you had to kind of like venture off into a path of curiosity, and like now you're in a world where you have a title and responsibilities and duties, and like honestly, like that's like everything that we all wish to kind of have, especially like the title that you have now, like the Mr. Director. Shit, I wish I was getting paid that salary. But other than that, like you made a name for yourself in a position in which the path that you wish to venture off to. And I'm not saying that like it's where you want to be now, but it's
It's in the right
definitely like
direction.
in the same field, like the same direction. Yeah. So it's
Well, I want to say thank you. I appreciate that because it does mean a lot. And this is something that he actually expressed to me over text message.
and I'll say it again, sober,
And
drunk, I don't give a damn.
unfortunately, I didn't know how to respond to that just because it,
Again, emotions, how you said, like we
yeah,
don't know how to deal with
it's,
emotions,
it
and you
is,
don't know how to respond
it's
to
a
that.
very overwhelming. I genuinely do feel like it's a very overwhelming, like, emotion because, like, just to even think about, like, where I came from and just, like, where I started and just, like, even just like just like seeing like where even my dad is in life and where my mom
Hmm.
is in life, like I've made it so much fucking further in life than these two individuals have, and
100%.
I'm only 25 years old. You know what I
100%.
mean?
Imagine
Like
how much
I
farther you can
didn't
go.
have the best examples growing up. You know what I mean?
And that
My
just,
dad's a literal low life with 7 kids that he cannot take care of. My mom is a unstable, mentally unstable individual who cannot maintain a single relationship in her life.
mhm.
You know what I mean? And those are the barriers and those are the the stereotypes that I'm trying to break myself.
And I feel like that's where we get along so well with each other, because I know that like it's like we're generational curse breakers. Like we're extending our lineage or like our current work path way past than what our parents had did.
Absolutely.
And I know that like with us, like we have very like high, very like big dreams, big goals, and everything to accomplish. And no matter what, like we're gonna like find a avenue or a path to like seek to it or around it, or like like five different fucking reroutes. But who gives a fuck? Like we're breaking those generational like cycles
Yeah.
in like from where our parents could have been, and we're turning ourselves into those what we will be
Well, we are.
and what we are. And like for me and you, like we're both generational curse breakers, because like I'm a first generational like college student
Hmm.
and first generation in like citizenship too, because on my dad's side, like he like yeah, he got his citizenship,
But he
but I
wasn't
got
born
mine
legal.
yeah, I got mine first. I mean,
Boop,
not to my horn again, but
boop.
no, literally it's just like we know how much work it has to be put into like
What we want to do and what we
what we
want to
want to do,
be.
where we want to take ourselves in life. And really what it is just like sometimes these other side quests, side tasks, side relationships that are kind of like distractions aren't going to be like our top of our priority. And that's okay if you don't like seek these relationships now,
Yeah.
but at the end of the day, like this is all we have.
And I think that's like, yeah, like, and just
God damn, am I
no,
Gandhi? I be
just
speaking
to
facts.
say, to touch on that, like,
No, yeah.
you know what I mean? I do find myself, like I said earlier, like outgrowing some of the people in my life, some of
And
the
that's
people who I
okay.
hold closest to me. You know what I mean? Some of the people who I've called my best friends, some of the people who I've loved dearly, some people that I've shown more fucking love to than myself. You know what I mean? And it's it breaks my like I'm
No,
trying not to cry, but like it breaks my heart
if
to
it's
fucking
heartbreaking, it's heartbreaking.
to see like these relationships just like fade fade away and just like fall through the cracks and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, like if I don't hold myself to a higher standard, then I'm just gonna allow myself to, like we've said in past episodes in all capital letters, settle.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not going to
No,
settle
don't
ever
settle.
in my
Don't
life
ever settle.
ever.
No. And like that's where you should be giving props to yourself too, because it's like the fact that when you outgrow like yourself and you're continuing to develop your own character, like you're gonna outgrow some of those relationships because it's like those are the ones that are connected to your past and those who you were. And literally like who you want to be is gonna require people who are not in that same circle, and like that's okay. And like when you see these relationships go and like leave, break, whatever, it's gonna be heartbreaking. I'm not gonna lie. Like you're not gonna be sharing the same similarities that you shared once before. You're gonna have new interests. You're gonna have like new things that you're gonna want to go for, and they're gonna be stuck in the same place. Regardless, I'm not gonna be like undervaluing that their growth is any
Right.
less,
Because
but
everyone's
it's
on their own path.
everyone's on their own path. Like you're gonna be seeking out new friends, new um, mentors,
No,
new
and yeah,
idols.
and just like you said, like I like look, I love my friends to death, and I think I always will, and I will always hold so much value in each and every one of these people because they've taught me so much, just like about life and each individual person. I don't care if you're, X, Y, and Z, if you're ABC or EFG,
Or
like or
LGBT.
LGBT, like I don't care. Like I feel like everyone is brought into your life to teach you something and like you have to take it and go or else
Mhm.
like you're just gonna be stuck in the same repetitive cycle.
Repetitive pattern.
And yeah, like do I wish that my friends were on the same growing curve that I am?
100%.
Absolutely. Absolutely. But at the same time, I don't expect them to want to have the same as I do. And I think that's where I've been having a hard time.
100%. And I mean, regardless now where you are now, definitely got to give yourself a pat on the back, like from where you were
Yeah,
at least
even
a
just
few
two
years
years
ago. How
ago.
long have you had this apartment? Like,
I'm coming up on my third year.
yeah, like since then, like since you got your first apartment, like things have been like you've been working hard for it. So it's just like things are coming up. Not fast, but I mean, for
With time.
sure with time. Yeah, like
Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, that's just that on that. And I've been told this, and as much as I hate to hear it, I know that it's a fact, but you're either friends for a reason or for a season. People come and go and they teach you things, and you just gotta live and learn.
as we all do. And as much as I hate it, I mean, what is it? Like even relationships, like this is a time where we need to be investing into ourselves, especially like this young. Like I know like I'm the one to speak, but like past partnerships, relationships, delusional ships, situationships, like those even can be distractions
Yeah.
too. And you can only meet someone as much as they've met themselves.
Yeah.
So it's just like,
Well, and there's this thing, right? It's like I don't exactly know exactly how it goes, but people who are listening, I'm sure will understand the gist. But basically, the saying is something along the lines of if you hang around four millionaires, you'll
you
become the
become the
fifth.
fifth. Yep.
And I feel like that's where I'm trying to
Be like just
position
trying to grow.
myself. I wanna surround myself by people who are big thinkers, people who are motivated, people who are driven, people who are
You want
hungry.
someone who would want to contribute or even develop your ideas further,
Yeah,
you know?
absolutely. Yeah, and I know that there are definitely people out there, and I just need to take my time to find those
Network
individuals.
your way
Yeah,
out there.
network and stuff like that. So obviously, like with time, that'll come, but I just think we all need to go through shit and we all need to learn. And if we don't, then we don't, but we do even better.
Amen. I know, go through shit.
Period.
Ah, fuck.
Yeah. So, that's just like, I guess, something that we just wanted to talk about. That's just like
I
something
feel like
that
that's
I've been
we've talked
learning.
about a lot.
Yeah, I feel like that's just like something that I really had to learn the hard way. And like, obviously, like, I know like friends come and go, but people
Yeah,
people change.
people
People
change,
change,
you
things
change.
change.
Like
I
the
never thought those
dynamics not going to be the
circumstances would have
same.
changed you.
No, 100%. Like I know,
And
like I mean, the Earth's polarity is even changing. So what makes you think that you don't change yours?
yeah, I just said it, but things change, people change, feeling
Was
changed you.
that
I
someone fact
never
checked me
thought
because
the
I know that was
circumstances would have
smart.
changed you. Yeah, I guess. He's a scholar or whatever.
I'm trying to be
A
something.
vocabulary.
Vocabulary just. I checked WebMD after this, so.
Yeah, he was on WebMD earlier. Actually,
Isn't
just making sure he
isn't
knew
that
what he
for
was
like
talking about.
diagnostics?
I mean, to diagnose,
ADHD?
he was on WebMD. Um, so yeah, that's just kind of like something that we've been going through. I mean, do you have anything to kind of touch on about like friendships and stuff like that? Like, do you have anything to kind of like relate to? Like, is there anything like that you've been going through personally with any of the friendships that you have in
I
your life at the moment? Like,
mean,
do you feel like there are any like friendships or relationships that you feel like you're outgrowing? And if so, like, why?
my
And like, what do you think that could change to keep that relationship afloat?
you mentioned before that like I did cross over into fraternity, but the time that I was pledging the fraternity, I know was difficult for some friendships
Can you tell me? And I'll
because
believe him because I want to know actually, okay.
that what?
Can you tell me who? That's it?
Yeah. I
Why
mean
though?
like that and like that kind of like friendships
Okay.
circling around it.
Okay.
I know there's some homegirls who like understood
Mm-hmm.
because like we can like be absent from each other's lives for like X amount of like time and
Weeks or
like
whatever.
and nothing will change that.
Right.
And like those are the ones I value the most because life gets busy, we get busy and like it's gonna get busier. Um, but I know that like with this particular friend, when I was pledging the fraternity, like I really had to keep my contact to a minimum to like who I was reaching out to. And a lot of the time there was times where like I couldn't even reach out. And it was rough for them to kind of experience that.
Because they were like used
Because like
to
our
like a
relationship was,
constant,
yeah,
like a
constant like
consistent like
communication,
communication.
constant like being together. Um, so what I like began to realize was that like it was the relationship was merely based upon convenience rather than like
Genuinity.
commitment, yeah, and genuinity and um like people want me there when they want me there.
Right.
But there's a difference from when you need me there and I'm gonna be there. And while I was going through this process was when my circle began to break because of those same reasons. And like these two friends began to like not fuck with each other because of that kind of absent presence that this other friend was showing to this other friend. And like I get it, I understand, like when you're not feeling valued in a way, like like you can't take time out of your day to like show support for someone. But I draw a line from where your experiences in life are because these two friends that I have are absolutely like I hold dearly to my heart.
Right.
One, I can say for sure, both of them don't have the same lives. Like one grew up in a perfectly healthy home, um, parents together, married, and
X, Y, and
everything.
Z.
Happy family.
Right.
This other friend, on the other hand, has to deal with separated parents and separated siblings. And not only that, like, she works a full-time job.
Which is something that I feel like you specifically can relate more towards with, right? Where you can relate more to because you
I've just been busy.
again, well, no, not even that, but like again, not to throw you under the bus, but I'm
Mm.
sure it's obvious. Your parents aren't together.
Oh, yeah.
Your siblings aren't the
Full-blooded.
closest either,
Yeah.
but nonetheless, they're still your siblings.
hmm
And so I feel
I
like
am the original OG.
this
I'm
is
the only OG.
this is the friend that I feel like you can relate
More.
more with, you can connect more with because you have more of an
Mhm.
understanding towards this person because of your experiences in your own life.
No, 100%. And like, as I am, she's breaking generational curses, the one I relate to a lot too. And like, as am I. So it's like I understand her perspective more than anything. So then when that kind of like feud between these two friends were happening, I had to really evaluate my relations with this person who I consider my best friend, because it's like, am I more than just a convenience? Am I like a pet to you? Or like, am I your actual genuine best friend? Because like,
Yeah.
there were times where like I couldn't be there when she needed me, but like I was there when it was most important. Like, so it's like, I think that's what made me fear most about my relationships with these people, was because it's like, where is that going to take us in the future? Because I know that,
What does that mean, like moving forward?
yeah,
Because like now I see where you stand and I see how you see me, and I'm like,
I
I
see
don't
where
know if
you
that's
put other
something.
people to a
Yeah, and
standard.
I'm like, I'm
I
not
know
sure if
I
that's
can't reach
something that
it.
I could
Reach,
mess
yeah.
with.
Or mess with, exactly, like both of those. Like, it's not something, like, again, like how I reach back to you. Your expectations of me is not my standard.
It's not your responsibility.
It's not my responsibility to live up to. And I think that's what kind of scares me, is that like we're gonna drift apart soon.
But honestly, I'm here to tell you that it's okay.
One hundred
And
percent.
like you outgrow people, and that's again out of your control, and it's not your fault, and
Whether
it's
they
like
choose
fully
to respect
up
it,
onto
that's on
that
them.
person. Yeah, like if you're gonna follow. Like if you're gonna be a better person, like I would love to be I would be more than happy to like help you do whatever it is that you need to do to be that better person. But if you don't have that desire, then I'm not sure if like our values align.
Mm-hmm.
And
100%.
that's okay. And that's just I think maybe the premise of this episode is just like unfortunately it's okay to outgrow those relationships that you
It's really
feel like
just
are
like
vital to you
setting those boundaries and like reevaluating the relationships that you have from where you are and where you want to be.
and not putting up with just anything
Stupid, petty, dumb
because
shit. Cause
I
I
feel
won't
like
be there.
some people just like will be like, okay, well, like
We'll put the sums in the drama
I'm
for the
getting
purely
this.
the for the entertainment.
Well, not even that, but just like, oh, like, well, I don't even know how to fully articulate this, but just like, oh, well, like they're talking to me at least, like that's good enough for me, or that's fine. Like they're just like putting up with like the bare minimum because I think that's what they've had to put up with, unfortunately, their entire lives. But hey, we're over that. Like we're not putting up with bare minimum. You know what I
No,
mean?
one hundred
Like
percent. We make ourselves valuable to their relationships, and like
yeah.
we make
And if
that
you don't
known.
value me, then
Unfortunately, you're gonna have to
I
miss out.
can pack up my bags and see
Mm.
myself out the door because like I'm just that this is like my cue. This is where I
Yeah,
know where to
this is
go.
where you gotta cut things off
Yeah.
and kind of just like never look back.
And that's what I had to do over the past week and a half slash month is just hold the door open for myself and help myself pack up the bags and just say this is where I gotta go.
Even when a door
Can't be here no more.
closes,
Another door opens. A few
Another
more
window.
doors.
A few windows
A few
open.
more doors open. Not, yeah, a few more doors open
When the door closes, look for that window, open that bitch up, and sneak the
and go.
fuck out that
Go.
house.
Go.
Yup.
Do it. I dare you. You'll see the best thing ever, I promise. I lost my notes, but I knew that the next thing that on our list to talk about was your sexuality because you're gay.
Mine.
I'm not gay. That's weird.
Mine.
Your sexuality because you're
The only
gay.
the only relationships I have is with the Lord.
And that's on period. No, I'm just kidding. No, but I think we did definitely want to talk about
How we manage our relationships, especially because like I know that you have like a very pretty best friend, and that like we're kind of like establishing our own identity
I don't
past
have any
the
best friends. I
the
am
G
my best friend. So
period
yeah,
period.
I
But
am
like
a
we're
pretty best
establishing our
friend.
own identities past the label of GBF.
I was never GBF.
Are you sure?
I swear to God.
Okay.
Because that is
Never was
actually
I.
because that's actually something that is like that irks me. I'm not
Really?
anyone's token. I'm not anyone's
Little
little
pet.
pet. Yeah, exactly. Like I'm either your best friend or that's that. I'm not your gay best friend. I'm not this, I'm not that because I'm still more than just someone who's gay. I can provide more to you than my sexuality.
And I think that just
And if you call me
speaks.
your fucking gay best friend, you're literally dead to me. Fuck you.
I think that's like literally where we're like try to like speak on our own identity is like how we were trying to say, like we're trying to see who we are, where we want to be, and what we want to be. And like literally, what was it like? I remember the specific time where like I'm trying to establish my own identity, and like I know that with my own sexuality within our big ass family, religious,
Yeah,
um,
no, get into that religious part real quick, because you
um,
swear that religious, that our family's religious, and I get like
not
we
religious in the sense
are,
of
like we
practice,
know that
but
like our grandma
religious in
is
the
like
sense of like religious in the sense of like it's not the norm.
you
Like it's not
nothing.
our
What's
norm.
normal? Like what's
Well, I know,
normal?
of course, but like based on like our family's rubric,
Yeah,
we've had to deal with a lot of like homophobia.
but we can't say that we're like the victims of it because like we have
Oh
older gay
hell no.
cousins. We have
No, I'm gonna toot my own horn.
older gay cousins who are like
Yeah, I'm gonna toot my own horn. What the fuck was that?
you're trying to something. The
I'm trying
horn.
a bottle. I don't know. Please more liquor. um,
Baby.
no, but literally, it's just like as we establish our own identities and we feel more comfortable with our own sexualities, like it's become way hard. No, I think harder for our families to kind of realize where we are as people because it's like I'm not gonna lie, like I'm not gonna say like my family's perfect, but like they're becoming to slowly understand who I am as a person. But it took a lot, a lot.
And by
And this
I
is
think
this
by
is prop this
family,
is props
I
to the
think
older
by
cousins.
family,
This is props to
I
the older
think you're
cousins.
talking about your immediate family,
Yeah,
like your sisters and your mom,
yeah.
because everyone else knew you were gay, and they were the only ones. Well,
Okay,
okay,
first of all, if we're gonna
okay,
be
you're
spending
not
labels,
gay. You're the
if we're gonna be
B in the
spending labels, and
LGBTQIA,
in the spectrum,
QRSTUV. Wait, just like I
and
am,
the
whatever, X, Y,
spectrum.
and Z. Yeah. We'll just say you're gay for now, and that's fine until you're proven otherwise. That's and I say the same thing. Yeah,
You're
I'm
gay.
gay
You're
until
gay.
you
So
prove me
trying to
otherwise.
kill
Do I
me.
have interest in other women? Yes. Could I see myself procreating with another woman? Yes.
Yes.
Am I gonna say that I'm gay now? Yes. Because do
What is
I
my
like guys?
preference? Men.
Yes. Exactly.
Okay.
So that's fine. We don't have like labels and shit, right? So
Yeah.
I think so. Angelo, we had a whole group chat with like a bunch of cousins a while back ago, and I remember just receiving a message from Angelo, and he was like, "Hey, like basically there's gonna be a rumor going around that I'm gay. I told my family that I like guys, so if you hear anything, like it's gonna be from me and not like X, Y, and Z." And I was like, "All right."
Should I tell the whole story about how that happened? Or
You
not
don't have
really
to
the
tell the
whole,
whole
but
story,
like
but you
kind
can
of
like graze
like
over it. Yeah.
cliff notes it.
Yeah.
basically what it was 420 2020.
Beep beep.
420, gotta make it Colorado. Um no, literally I was at the time venturing relations with a man.
And look, like again, we're not here to throw any kind of labels on anybody, right? I've been told I was gay since I came out the womb, and I'm
Yeah.
sure, like obviously, other people
Well,
have made the same
hey.
assumptions about Angelo, but that's
No, 100%.
besides the point.
No, it really has. Everyone knew, I guess.
Yeah.
But
Everyone knew before us, which is so annoying, but whatever.
yeah, whatever. No, so literally what it was I was seeking relations with a guy at the time, and he had slept over the house. He stayed the night, and the morning of, he was seen coming out of the house.
Bye.
My mother.
Oh my God.
I know. And so that led to a lot of questions. I decided, you know what?
Angelo,
Just come
who's
out.
that guy? Why is he here? Why is he
Yeah.
spending the
And
night?
why is he so gay? Gayer than
Why is
you.
he very flamboyant?
And I was like, Mom, this is the situation.
It
I
is what
I
it
remember
is,
I remember
lady.
sitting her down and I was like, I like girls and guys. And I I didn't cry when I came out. I didn't. But I know that my mom did. And I was like, why are you being
Dramatic.
such a queen right
Because,
now?
like, why are we acting like surprised?
I know, why are you the victim?
Literally.
Anyways, but so yeah, so then that came out, and I was like, you know what? If I was strong enough to come out to my mom, I'm gonna let all my cousins know before all the drama spills out.
Yeah, because, like, we know the word spreads like a wildfire.
Fucking wildfire. It was literally within that day everything came out. Like you guys heard it. Like
I didn't.
I gave
Honestly, you heard it. I heard it from you first.
I gave you like the first warning. I gave like the first immediate cousins like the
But
first fair
but do you want to
warning.
know my response?
Huh. Good.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you know what? I respect my older brother for that.
Justin.
Yeah, and like we don't have the best relationship, but he responded
The best.
the best, and that surprised me. And like he's the oldest,
Right.
I'm the fucking baby. So with just that tension alone, like he really just like was like okay, and like he's still our little brother. Like we still gotta love him.
Yeah.
And
But unfortunately, you didn't get the
that was
same
the
response
only
from some other
yeah,
siblings. For
obviously.
some reason, the other siblings were so devastated and act like the world was
It's
ending.
ending. I know. Bitch, you got like 6 worlds to take care of. Shut the fuck up.
Girl, I know, chill.
No, and like that was I think like the only part of my coming out that made me cry was my brother.
That's good though. I'm very happy that you had that. Like,
Mhm. I mean, we
at
still don't
least,
talk, but like our
yeah,
that respect is there.
yeah.
And
Can I quickly talk about how I came out?
yeah, go ahead. I'm actually gonna come out the closet again.
So, we all know this fun little lovely app called Grindr. I had met this guy I had met this guy on Grindr, and like we genuinely never ever hooked up. And I know that's like what Grindr is about. It's about like having sex and like
Hookups.
hookups and stuff like
Yeah.
that. But like me and this guy, we never ever hooked up, and I wouldn't lie about that because that's something to never lie about. But we never hooked up actually. But it was like the first like actual experience I had with a guy, so I
Mhm.
was like so just like overwhelmed with emotions and anxiety and like just everything. It was just like a whirlwind of emotions that I was experiencing, and I think honestly that's probably like the first time I've ever actually experienced anxiety. I've never really experienced anxiety to the point where I wanted to literally fucking
Like crawl out of your
claw at myself and just get the fuck out and just like ugh. But my sister noticed because I lived with my sister at
Our
the time.
siblings know the most.
My sister noticed and she's like, "You're being weird. Why are you being weird? X, Y, and Z. Like you've been like in your room and you've just been this, and that, blah, 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 blah."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Yeah, I don't know, blah, blah, ha, ha, blah, 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 blah." And so like after a few times of her asking me, she was like, maybe you should like go talk to someone and da da da. Like one of our brothers has anxiety, so she's like, brother X, Y, and Z has his girlfriend X, Y, and Z to lean on for support whenever he has anxiety, X, Y, and Z, blah, blah, da, da. And I was like, honestly, sister, I have my own version of that girlfriend. His name is Tomas. And she was like, and I was like, yeah,
Wait.
yeah.
So, okay, Tomas is the other partner?
The guy that I was talking to.
Okay.
Yeah,
So then that's when that big reveal happened to your sister.
yeah.
Okay.
And I was like, I have my own version of that girl, and his name is Tomas, and X, Y, and Z, blah, 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 blah. And my sister was just like, cool. Then after that, I was like, oh, fuck, what did I just say? And then I left.
Did she fully understand what you were like
Yes.
talking about?
Yes.
Okay.
Because I left, like I said, I left my sister's house. I left because I was just like, what the fuck just happened? Like, I left.
You were
I went
such in
to,
a world shock.
I went to my friend's, I went to my friend Charlie's house. And on my way to my friend Charlie's house, I got a text from my sister. And she was saying how proud of me she was and how happy she is that she was the first person that I told. And her secret, my secret is safe with her until I decide to let everyone else know. And looking back, like that makes me a little emotional, but at that time I was just like, yeah, shut up. Like whatever.
No, like
You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like, yeah. Like don't talk about it because like I
Like,
didn't
I said
really
it.
want to
Okay,
say
cool.
it.
Let's move on.
Yeah. And so then after that, that was in October, and then in November, my mom came to Colorado because she was living in Las Vegas for a little bit. I picked up her and my little sister from the airport, and I was like, Mom, I have something to tell you. And she was like, What? And I was like, I like guys. And she was like, Really? And I was like, Yeah. And you know what she said? Don't tell no one.
Oh, I know that one. I
Don't
know that one.
tell anybody. And I was like, why? And she's like, don't tell so and so and blah 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 da da da. And I was like, well, I already did. And she was just like, well, don't tell anyone. But I'm just like, why? And then she started to question like all of the other like male friendships that I had in my life. Like there was this one friend that I had in high school that I was genuinely friends with. I had no desire to like
Have any sexual relations with?
be with in any kind of way. She was like, "Did you have a crush on so and so? Because I think you did." La 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 da da da. And I was just like, "No." So, becoming an experience was good and bad. From that moment, I knew my mom was homophobic. My mom is still homophobic. As much as she tries to act like she's not, she is. So that's fine. And that's why she's not here.
My parents are.
That's why she's not here.
Yeah, I know that with my parent, like my mom, when she, came into my room like 3 days later. She's like, "Honey, like I still love you," but then like those same kind of like situations would like pop up when I would have a partner who was a guy, and they're like, "Don't bring him around grandma," and I was like, "The fuck." Which is I don't really give a fuck. Honestly, I was like, you know what? I don't care. Like, I'm not dating anyone anyways.
Well, it's like, who cares? Like, why does my grandma care? I mean, I don't think any of our family members have treated us
any different.
Yeah, because like I
No.
said, like we already have like a few other siblings, or not siblings, but like cousins and family members who have already previously came
out, and those are the giants of which we stand on the shoulders that we look
Absolutely.
farther on.
My cousin Ashley,
She's props.
she's
love
only
her.
2 feet tall, but I fucking will stand on that shit.
She grew a couple inches.
Now she's 3 feet 2 inches. No, but she definitely was the pioneer of the
Bringing the LGBT
because
conversation in.
I mean, I'm not like we're not judging, but she's more butchy.
I love that about
She's my
her.
butchie
I
queen,
love that.
and she's yeah.
I don't know what it is, but like I have a lot of lesbian butch friends, and I'm
Yeah.
like, I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's like kind of like the male dominancy or something, but they always take care of me, and I don't know what it is, but
I have a friend, Valerie, who was on our last episode, and though she's not, I don't think she's like the perfect balance between butchy and femme. But just like you said, she always is making sure that I'm taken care of too. And I love that about her. So
and
shout
that's
out to you, Valerie, because I love you, bitch.
I'll always take care of them as always, but you know, being or living the way that we do in our big religious family, it's I don't think it's been difficult. I think it's been more easy
Yeah.
in the
We've
way
been
that we just live
lucky.
our truth.
No, we for sure have been lucky because like I said, we had those pioneers.
No, because like I remember like growing up and hearing those conversations about the older cousins, and I didn't like it.
Well, even just us growing up, I remember being asked as a child, like
I don't know what the
a
fuck that
7 year
is.
old or 8 year old, do
Yeah.
you like guys? You like guys?
Yeah.
Ooh, X, Y, and Z, blah, 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 blah. I'm just
I don't know.
like,
Let me try pussy first. Damn.
something, something like shit. Like, let me figure it out myself before you start trying to push that shit onto me, dog. Like, I'm gonna be honest, I didn't come out until I was 19.
I was 19 too. I was
19 years
19.
old.
Because it's, yeah, 2020. I was 19 years old.
Yeah, I didn't come out until I was 19.
But one thing I can for sure say is that my my bros, like the ones that I have known since 2017, like my brothers, like I consider them my brothers, but they're younger than me a bit, but they handled it so well. And every guy friendship that I had didn't really like see me different. And
Yeah.
like
Can
these
you go ahead
specific,
and keep talking? Go ahead.
yeah, these specific ones, they were like the most masculine guys ever. And, they will pull off, they were like, I guess you can say like the the man players. They were the ones who can pull off any girl that they wanted. So like they're very attractive in a way of just being that like male dominant. And like I was very fortunate to kind of like have them as, still have them as friends. So then I think the cutest part, or even the most sentimental part, was when I had that day that I came out, was I had told all of my homeboys about it, and one of my very closest best friend, like Alex,
Alex,
yeah, he was upset at the fact
that
that I told him last.
I knew it.
So, and I was like, you really feel like that? Oh, stink, stop.
Sting, 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 ping. Come on,
Pookie,
girl.
why would you? Oh my Pookie, you're gonna make me cry. It's like, no, but like, I still have those relationships now, and like, and those are the ones I value the most because like so much time can go by and we still pick off where we left off, where we seen each other in person.
Yeah.
So
So, I mean,
that's the
really, we've covered a few topics in this episode. And mainly what I want to talk about is, and just mention, is just that friends, I think this might be the name of this episode. And that's fine.
If I'm giving you a
Friends,
few ideas or whatever.
friends, you're friends for a reason or friends for a season. And that's perfectly okay. I don't think that.
I think it's just maintaining those relationships as you branch out from breaking generational curses is kind of like been the discussion of topic.
And realizing your worth and just knowing that you're that fucking bitch because I'm that fucking bitch, you're that fucking bitch, I'm that fucking girl, I'm that photographer, I'm that realtor. I don't give a fuck about what you fucking think. I know who I am and I know what
100%.
I'm worth, and I'm that fucking bitch.
I know that 100% that we're one of those bitches because we
No,
no,
not one of those bitches is that bitches.
we is that bitches because you know what? I refuse to be treated any less or any lesser
Than what you know you're
than I
worth.
know what I am and what I'm capable of giving.
Yeah.
So
Period.
People need to step it up when they want to be in my
Or
life.
step down.
I like that. Step down.
Step up or step
Get out the
down.
fucking way.
Yeah, so basically step up or step down. Learn how to respect us or don't. It's your choice because at the end of the day, it's your choice if you're going to stay or if you're going to go.
100%. And I don't know. I'm drawing blanks right now.
Well, I mean, that's just that on that. The next thing that I for sure wanted to talk about is I talked about this in the last episode. I think in the second episode, I
Oh
talked
my
about
god.
getting this, and I finally ordered it. This is my MPC. It's not plugged in, obviously, but this is my MPC. This is what I use to make.
You're gonna be a DJ now?
No, I am a DJ.
Oh, period.
I'm a producer, Angelo.
Period. You can make your own.
I'm a
beats
whole
now.
production company.
You can.
Have you ever heard
literally-
of Water Bear Productions?
No.
That's me. That's us.
Oh shit!
I'm Water Bear Productions.
I want to say I never heard them
Do
yet.
you know what's Water Bear?
The bearer of water.
An Aquarius. Which
Fuck.
is me.
You want to see what my vape is?
No.
Literally says, look at it. Look at it. Read the label.
Aquarius, baby.
The non-sponsored.
Aquarius. That's literally my logo. It's the Aquarius constellation.
Astrolab, yeah.
Constellation? Yeah,
Conciliation.
so this is my MPC. I finally bought it. I was inspired to purchase this by none other than the Queen herself.
Really?
Who is it?
Beyonce?
Yeah.
But what part?
So,
In the movie? Is there a part of the movie that
No.
she became a DJ?
no,
Oh.
it's in the song. It's
What
in the
song?
song Heated, where she's like, fingertip go tap 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 on my MPC making disco trap. Uncle Johnny made my dress that cheap spandex. She looks a mess. Fingertip go tap 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 on my MPC making disco trap. Uncle Johnny made my
Is
dress
it
that
my
cheap
middle finger?
spandex. She looks a mess. So
I just cut myself.
fingertip go tap 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 on my MPC making disco trap. Uncle Johnny made my dress that cheap spandex. She looks a mess. So I finally got my MPC. It's a little bit of a challenge to learn. There's a huge learning curve, but I'm always up for a challenge.
I mean, we're always learning every day, so might as well learn something.
Yeah, I'm always up for a challenge. And though music production isn't something that I've been taught or learned, I'm going to learn how to do it. My MPC! MPC 1, baby. MPC 1! MPC! Fingertip go tap 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 on my MPC, making disco trap. So that's what I'm going to be doing moving forward, is making some disco traps. And I'm
What kind of genre would you see yourself going into? House?
disco and trap. Disco trap.
Homage to the ghetto. I love it.
Rags to riches.
Rags
Yeah.
to fucking riches.
So that's basically
Bags and bitches.
and so yeah, that's what we wanted to talk about on our
It's heavy.
episode of Learn Hard today.
So looking forward into the future to see where you produce.
Thank you. Yeah, so 2024 is already looking gigantic for me. I'm kind of nervous. I don't know if I can.
I'm gonna be graduating.
I don't know.
in
I'm
2024.
99% sure I can handle. I'm gonna have to learn how to handle, but I'm gonna handle nonetheless. And it's gonna be great.
I know I'll be graduating in 2024,
When?
the spring.
Okay.
So it's gonna be exciting yet terrifying because I'm back in the real world, and by real
Trying to get an
world, I
architecture
mean the
job.
financial, aspects of what I'm gonna be doing after graduation. Like obviously, I'm gonna go for my master's
Maybe become an architecture. I don't fucking know.
in architecture and architect. I have to get my master's.
Become an architecture. Don't
Architect.
don't become an architect. Become the architecture.
What does that
I want
mean?
you to turn into a building.
Like virtual ablo?
No, I want you to turn into a skyscraper downtown.
That's a lot of work. I'm honestly really just down for interior design.
Just turn yourself into a building. That's fine.
I
Anyways,
like that idea though. Reach
anyways,
for the stars and you land on the clouds. Even though I'm spiritualistic, I do love material things. I know
that's
that's
why everyone calls you Miss
controversial.
Gucci. I call you Miss Gucci.
I am Miss Gucci. And I don't know, like if I want to be able to afford that, I gotta work for it. So
You better
that's the
work,
thing that's
bitch.
gonna kind of been pushing for my finals, where I
Yeah.
should be now studying for my exam tomorrow. But I'm gonna pass. I already know.
Period.
So then that wraps up.
Yeah, that wraps up this episode. I can't really tell you how long we've been recording because it's been kind of a long time, but
Thank,
nonetheless, I'm super grateful. Thank you for joining me on this episode, Angelo.
of course.
I feel like there's been a lot of things that we talked about that I feel like a lot of people can get value from, especially if they don't know how to handle specific situations or if they're going through some
Not even
things
that,
that
just
they don't even,
relate.
yeah, especially if they don't even like, I mean, I don't know, whatever. Like, I'm not here to tell anyone what to do, but I'm here to just, I guess, share my experiences and tell everyone how it's been. So that's what I want to do, and that's what I'm going to continue to do. So thank you all so much for watching and or listening. Please don't forget to rate us a 5 star. It always
I
helps.
don't know, like and subscribe. I don't
No,
know.
yeah, rating us a 5 star on whatever platform it is that you're listening to will obviously help our podcast in every way possible. Just like Angelo said, you want to make sure that you like this episode, and if you're watching it on YouTube or whatever platform, please make sure to subscribe as it does help our podcast. I do want to thank everyone for watching and or listening. Um, do you have anything to mention before we leave?
I do. I would like to thank you for this opportunity and for having me on your podcast. I feel very honorable to even be on the very first few episodes of this, and I don't know. This is kind of like something new for me as well, and like I don't know how it's gonna
I
go,
think
but
you
you
did a
know,
great job.
I'm always excited for new things. Like fuck it.
Yeah,
So yeah, other than that, I just would like to thank Chancellor for having me on his podcast
of course.
and for providing the meal and and
And the vibes.
and yeah, and the vibes. That's pretty much it.
Yeah.
I love this. This is like what did I call it before? It was like sip and spill. Yeah,
You called it that.
I called it sip and spill. I'm gonna make sure I patent that. But anyways,
Learned Hard. Everyone, thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of Learned Hard. Make sure you follow us on all of our social medias as they will be linked in the description below. And as always, have a wonderful afternoon. Thank you so
and
much for
have a
listening.
good morning.
I love you so much. Bye.